you're out there, you're riding, you're having a good time, and taking in the outdoors.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning.
What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the RacerRed channel. I'm out here doing a little testing on the KTM 450. My first race this year is 5 days away, so I want to get used to how this bike feels. I feel like this bike is just so much faster than the 250. However, I feel that a 300 is somewhat comparable as far as being able to really just roll it on and hit stuff at speed. But I took this bike into Jim County Motorsports and had them rebuild my rear tire, or my rear wheel rather, because the spokes started coming out and I needed a new rear tire anyway, so they put a new sprocket on there, a new rear tire, and trued up the rim, put new spokes on. So I wanted to make sure that I put that back on there okay, for one. I usually do, but all it takes is some weird little incident where something comes loose. Every time you work on a bike, it's a good idea to ride it first, no matter what you do, really. Honestly, though, I haven't done the air filter in a while, so I'm kind of worried about that. I will do the air filter before the race. That seems to be handling good. This this front end feels so good over high-speed hits. It just soaks everything up so good, especially when you're hitting it going fast. I mean, it just tracks so nice compared to the Husky, because that's really all I have to compare it to. So right now, I'm getting the ambulance prepared as well. It's time to start taking out the ambulance. I'm going to be staying overnight at the races, so that'll be fun. Take the ambulance out and do some camping with it, start that stuff up. The battery on that was in poor condition as well, so I might have to replace the crank batteries as well as the solar battery. But the solar battery is currently charging, and the crank battery's got a full charge on them, so it seems like they're both going to be doing pretty okay. I think once the weather gets a little bit warmer too, it'll really make those batteries happy. But I do think I'm going to replace that solar battery regardless. Everything seems to be pretty straight on this bike. Seems to be working pretty good. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I wanted to talk to you guys about this treasure hunting idea, where I'm just leaving treasure out in the middle of nowhere. The first one was an easy one, meant for people who just want an easy ride, maybe a winter ride, or maybe something you can take your kids on. It's a fairly easy route, and you can get to it through some roads as well, which would defeat the purpose, because the purpose is to have an adventure to find the treasure. So, in the future, they will be much harder, and also they will be much harder to prevent scalpers, people who will go and just basically steal from the box and not replace it with anything valuable. Put a stick of gum in there or something. So I really want to do a good job of hiding the next one. You know, I'm not getting anything out of this. I would love to see you guys get all kinds of cool stuff from it. So I want to do it in a way that really prevents or discourages people from just going out and stealing the treasure. Because I want everybody to have something cool. The point is to put something in there that you would be stoked to get. And if everybody does that, you might put something in there that's worth more than what you're taking out. But what you're taking out has more value to it than just like what it costed. Has a lot of it'll have very much sentimental value to it, for one, because it's obtained through adventure, and I think that's pretty awesome. So the future boxes will be hidden in places that are much harder to get to. For your guys' sake, really, because look at that, there's a fox. I want to go chase it down and see what it looks like. Oh, grab it by the tail. I barely saw it. The camera is definitely not going to be able to see that. Dropped off right here. Yeah, I won't be able to see him again, probably. Yeah, the next treasure will be hidden way further into some single track. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people who are like, how dare you hide it on our secret single track. But it's not going to cause any more people to go out there and find it. Or I shouldn't say that. It won't cause any more traffic on the trail. People who are going to go out way out of their way to ride are probably real enthusiasts to begin with, and so I'm really just going to attract people who are already going to ride out there. Yeah, I'm not going to be attracting the beer shotgunning parking lot warriors for sure. And yeah, I'm kind of a hybrid too as far as my belief structure on trail systems, because I believe that you should be able to ride wherever you want to roam, really. The animals do it. They cause trails everywhere. If you look closely, I mean, if you look at the ground at any given spot, you can find wildlife tracks that are uncovering the ground right there and have made it so vegetation doesn't grow right there, exactly the same way that a dirt bike does. So if you spread us out enough, there's way less of us than there are animals out here. So if you spread us out, our trails would be so primitive. It's like people saying you can't go around a log. Like, why can't you go around a log? Is there any logic? You're supposed to cut through the log. How dare you jump over it or go around it? It's like, really? What does it hurt to go around it? Like, really think about that question. Just don't spout some propaganda. Really think about it. Why couldn't I go around a log? Think about the millions of acres and how much damage is caused by everything, all these natural, chaotic events. Think about what it would hurt to go around a log. Because it makes a new trail that goes around instead of through? Is that our logic? 'Cause I don't think that's really a reason. I think we need to rethink what damage is again, because that's silly. Yeah, I mean, you look at this stuff. All these mountains have crazy runoff. You can see all these little ledges from all the runoff coming down the mountain. That's all damage. This mountain is moving all the time. It's moving all the time. These ravines, those are all damage. If the earth wasn't damaged, then it would be completely round and smooth, and it would have no mountains, because every mountain is the product of a gigantic cataclysmic event that just demolished the entire area. There have been a lot of records showing that towns disappear from that. Yeah, so I don't need to go on and on about that, but it's something that I always touch on because I feel it's important to get out there. I think it's important to get information that is something other than your normal sources. Because I would consider my views pretty extreme in the eye of most. I was watching this video, this wildlife video of these elk crossing a highway out in the middle of nowhere. And all the environmentalists were so in awe of this video, right? They were all like, oh man, that's so beautiful. Look at that herd. Look at that big herd of elk crossing the highway. And they were all running, by the way. And then, but that same video I posted on a dirt bike video. It's basically the same exact situation, except it was across a dirt bike trail where I was in the same situation, parked and taking video of these elk. And I got lots of environmental responses that were basically telling me that I was going to kill the elk by watching them or being out there. How's it going, man?
Oh, man.
End of my little ride here. I just wanted to get a quick warm up, so I will catch you on the next one. Peace.